Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show here on Fireside and streaming to my YouTube channel. I am coming to you at a rare time that I usually uh, uh, do because today I'm recording on Autism Awareness Day. And before I get started, I'm going to try and show you my shirt if I can. Um, and I don't know how well you could see it, but it says "Rockin' to a Different Tune." I recently bought this shirt just for this day, and as I sit back down to get started with actually doing the show, um, I am raring to go, and just bear with me. I'm making sure I'm comfortable as I do this. I don't have a regular podcasting studio, just so you know. Um, I do this all from my phone with a mini mic and my camera on, and just making myself um, comfortable and doing a podcast show um, in real time. So, um, once again, welcome to the Brian Colletto Show, and happy Autism Awareness Day, and happy Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month, and 2023. And in the fortune cookie, for those of you who may be seeing this on replay on Fireside, the fortune cookie says, "I am different, not less." That is a quote from Temple Grandin that I posted as a status on my Facebook 4 years ago. So let's get started. So first, I want to say my apologies that I didn't do my show last week. Life kind of got in the way. I was gonna do it a different day, but again, life got in the way last week from my usual day, and then the few days after that. I'll go into a little bit more detail in a little bit. But before I do that, I want to express all of the gratitude in as I approach my mid 30s, and having been diagnosed with autism almost 30 years ago, and um, it's just been such a great journey. Lots of ups and downs, but that's life, right? And for those of you who may be a little bit new to me, and I don't do refreshers often enough, but my challenges involve processing information, which may lead to delayed responses to questions that are either complicated or I just don't want to answer them. There's also challenges of seeing gray area between right and wrong, and sometimes I need directions to be more concrete, and sometimes I don't always understand nonverbal cues. So those are some of my challenges with autism, and also thinking straight sometimes too. So it's definitely a lifelong thing, but I do advocate for myself and for others on the spectrum And this year, I know that the theme for this Autism Awareness Day is transforming the narrative in contributions at home, work, in arts, and also policy making. And as I said on my post that I did for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, um, contributions at home have always been a part of my life. My parents required it. They didn't make any excuses for me not to contribute at home, whether it be yard work or um, maybe not as much as other kids, but sometimes helping out in the kitchen. And although I still don't know how to cook many things, I can use a conventional oven for a few things and can use a stove to cook eggs. For an example. But but yeah, they allow me some time to myself and to have some uh, fun time. Uh, but they also wanted me to do my responsibilities, like my homework and all of that. Um, the uh, the other thing, um, so you said contributing to home, contributions at work. I've been doing that for over 14 years now with my day job. And if you count the 5 months of volunteer time, it's now about 14 and a half years that I've been part of the agency that I work for. And although I've been through ups and downs, and very early on in that 14 plus years, I was uptight about the job search and wanting something different. Yet the other options either seemed overwhelming or just they weren't the right opportunities for me for a number of different reasons. But I keep contributing at work, and um, there are some factors out of my control that have since been addressed, and now I'm getting new opportunities, including social media stuff. Um, oh, and I've been doing some of the primary office stuff that I do. I've been doing that for a few years now, um, on a consistent basis. Because prior to 2019, there was some payroll stuff that I did on an inconsistent basis, and inconsistent because of where I was needed. I won't get into that whole situation because it was a different situation than we're in now. And this is really about my autism and other people's autism and contributing to certain areas of life. But I've been contributing. Um, and as far as arts go, um, I've posted it on social media before. I played trombone growing up as a kid, and briefly also did some pit in the marching band in my senior year of high school. And it was a lot of my voice as a kid. Now, of course, a lot of my arts are my social media stuff, whether it's the pictures or the videos, or even in this case, podcasting. Um, it's pretty good to contribute to art, and I've always felt welcome with that. As far as policy making goes, that is not something that I've uh, focused on. Um, I mean, maybe it helps in an indirect way sometimes, but I don't primarily work on making policies for autism or to help people on the spectrum feel included. I just advocate, and um, it's really just about helping um, us on the spectrum fit in. So that is uh, the primary about this day and transforming the narrative as it relates to autism. And so that concludes that portion from me. Um, Now, since it has been almost 2 weeks since my last show on here, I will go into the segment now where I talk about how the last 2 weeks have been, what activities I did over those 2 weeks, and yeah. So as I think back and reflect on what I attended, so um, and actually I did 2 PTO days um, during that time. The first one was on that um, the Wednesday after St. Patrick's Day. Can you tell that I'm wearing a St. Patrick's color on my shirt right now? Um, uh, so that particular Wednesday after St. Patty's Day, I did 2 events that night. I did a networking event, and then I went and visited my Rotary Club and a dear longtime Zoom friend of mine that became real life in late 2021, um, who was the speaker for my Rotary Club. And that was fun. And then the following night, uh, I almost didn't go, but I went to an event that I was previously invited to. It was about 45 minutes from me, and weather patterns for expected rain were changing throughout the day. So it really became a last minute decision for me to go. And I'm really glad I went. I had some really nice conversations, and I was able to take a few more of the virtual to real life as a result of that, of going. And then um, last weekend was very low key. Didn't really have too much going on. And then um, last week during the weekdays was definitely interesting. Last Monday, and this might explain why I didn't do my show on Monday last week, we had a special taste of my county. Uh, that was a early evening event for about 2.5 hours, although I was really there for more like 3, considering we got there early before the doors opened. And that was a fun event. Um, although I did deal with certain things that I didn't want to deal with the night after when I dealt with certain criticisms from my immediate family that I felt were unnecessary. And people that know me know that uh, when I go to things like this, I really like to have fun with the community. And that's not to say that I'm perfect, because I'm not. And I can be better at certain things, like checking in with people in general. Um, but it was the way that it was addressed with me, too, that I didn't like as well. And that was why, when I intended to do the show last Tuesday, I had to um, cancel doing that because I couldn't speak from a place of emotion and tears when I was still processing what I was feeling. And I didn't want to put something out there without knowing that this is truly how I feel about it. So that's why I didn't do that. Not because I don't want to look ugly on camera or that I don't want help with dealing with it. Um, I I have a lot of support groups, so I don't I don't need people to say anything along those lines unless they just simply want to offer support. Um, but yeah, it was like I said, it was some stuff that I felt was a bit unnecessary, and it triggered me, and um, you know, I I I'm confident in myself, and I do care about people in every way possible. Just I do it a little differently. I have my autism ways of connecting with people. I'm different in how I am. I don't care about being normal. I mean, I don't I want to be respectful, but I do have my autism ways. So um so that's why the show didn't happen last week. Then last Wednesday I went to a smaller networking event nearby. That was good. Um, I didn't have anything last Thursday, and then um, Friday had my usual morning meeting before work, and then over this weekend didn't really do too much except a little pop-up craft artisan fair um, on this Autism Awareness Day. And so, yeah, I'm still getting out there. And despite issues at home that I didn't want to deal with, um, it's going well. And we're still moving the train forward. And, although things may be a little bit different now at home, maybe. Um, I'm still pushing forward as I manifest the life that I want as a man on the autism spectrum. So, with that, um, nobody joined live on Fireside. So, if you're listening to this on replay on Fireside or YouTube, I want to thank you. And I, in again, because this is being recorded on Sunday night, I am going to not do my show on Monday night this week, and will hopefully be back um, next week on the Monday, the day after Easter, with another show. And until the next time I do this show, I send you all uh, love, light, blessings, and peace.